Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. Today, we are doing another Soulful 7 reading, channeling soul-filling, spiritually reviving, revitalizing, regenerative messages from Spirit to you that you are meant to take with you, contemplate, ponder, and meditate on for the next 7 days, so the next week. Today our messages are going to be guided by our unicorn energy, so that magical, uplifting energy. I'm so excited right now. Such beautiful energy. Yes, so everything is going to be intuitive for our messages today. I have nothing prepared. So if you need a moment to pause the video, take deep breaths, meditate on which group you believe has your message in it, please do so now. The links to all the groups will be in the description bar below. Without further ado, we are actually going to just move right into our readings today. So, hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. We're going to give our Unicorn Oracle deck a shuffle. What messages do the unicorns have for group number 1? Soul-filling messages for group number 1. What messages? What messages do our unicorns have to share with group number 1? What messages? Okay, I felt it. This one. Woo! Oh my gosh. Sorry, that was unexpected. The artwork on this card is so beautiful. This camera is not giving it any justice. Oh, it's so pretty. So the message that the unicorns wanted to share with you today was this idea of trust. Leap into the unknown. Have faith and move forward. Believe you will fly. So the artwork has this, it's more a Pegasus than a unicorn, but this horse with wings on like the edge of this cliff and this look of uncertainty. And the message here is trust. You have wings, boo. You can fly. You will fly. Your wings will not fail you. And I feel like, woo, such a magical message for you guys today. Trust, trust, trust. And trust starts within. Trust starts with yourself. Trusting yourself. Trusting what you are capable of. What you are, like trusting yourself and what you're capable of and your intentions as well for yourself. I feel like it's a huge message for some of you. So we have 8 of Cups. This idea of a new direction. This idea of walking away, again, from things that aren't serving you, especially in the realm of emotional energy. This idea of new direction to me is really, really interesting, especially in combination with trust. So I feel like Spirit is kind of, giving you some hints that, hey, there's this opportunity on the horizon for you to take a new direction in your life. And trust is going to be necessary, taking that leap into the unknown. And I'm getting the message that this could definitely be taking a leap into a creative endeavor, like trusting in yourself, trusting in your abilities. And in our Ace of Rings, we have this idea of success, this idea of recognition. I'm getting the message for some of you that this is going to be a new direction in career, potentially, as well. And I feel like the message, again, is like trusting in yourself, having faith and moving forward. Believe you will fly. Believe you will be successful. That is really the energy we are vibing out on. And then we have our 3 of Wands. So this idea of development and opportunity. Yes! Yep, I feel like the message for some of you really strong is this idea of a new direction as far as how you will earn a living. So a new job, a new business venture, new business opportunity, I feel like is the energy of our tarot cards today. Very interesting. I think this idea of recognition in our Ace of Rings is also interesting. Recognition and development, opportunity, new direction, walking away. I'm really getting the idea that, you know, even for some of you that potentially like making an actual move, or, you know, getting offered a job or getting offered a business opportunity or an opportunity to collaborate. And knowing that trusting and believing that this is going to bring you success. This new direction is going to bring you success. And I am feeling for some of you that there might be some fear associated with this change. Because, you know what? Change is fearful. Jumping off a cliff is, you know, you have every right to be afraid, you know? But I feel like the message here is, you know, believing that you will fly. You know, you have wings, right? You are capable of doing whatever this thing is that you want to do, leaning into whatever this new opportunity is. Like, you have the skills to do it, and you just have to trust in yourself. Yep, cattail, build. Whenever I see this card, I always feel like the conversation is around this idea of you know, the just pentacle energy. And well, in this particular case especially, it's, to me, it's about building on or building new, a career, something related to how you will earn a living. Trusting yourself, trusting in, you know, especially if you've been affirming. I'm getting the message that some of you have been asking for a new job, asking for opportunities, asking for, you know, different ways of making money, multiple streams of income, things like that. And I feel like this idea of trust is coming up because it's like you're asking for these things, but are you trusting that these things are actually going to come to fruition? Are you trusting that the universe is working in your favor, that the universe is going to deliver on these promises? And I feel like if you're not trusting, then you're not open. And if you're not open, if you're not receptive, then, you know, you're never going to be able to receive these blessings. So trust. And I'm also getting for some of you this idea of like worth too. Trusting. And then this idea of belief in what you cannot yet see. Faith. And also believing that you're worthy of whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, whatever it is that you're trying to build, whatever it is that you want recognition for, or opportunities for, this, whatever it is that you are trying to develop. You know, I love some labradorite. This is literally my favorite crystal. Labradorite, see the magic. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is so incredibly connected to our conversation today around trust and manifestation and building and trusting and believing in the energies that are working in your favor that you cannot see, but they are ever present and they are ever working in your favor. Ever working in your favor. We can never work as hard as spirit. We can never work as hard as the universe, and we shouldn't want to, okay? We definitely should do our part, you know, do our part. But I feel like, you know, when we are co-creating with spirits, we have to trust our partner, right? And she be coming through with it, okay? All right. And then our essential oil card is about digestive. The key word here is processing. So whenever I feel digestive, I feel like the message that you should be paying attention to your body. You should be paying attention to what you're putting in your body, what you're eating, how you're nourishing yourself. And then this idea of processing. The trigger statement here is that I am so worried, but the truth is I have the solution. Slowing down and listening to your inner voice will provide you with direction and purpose. Again, like I mentioned before, you know, as co-creators with Spirit, as we work in collaboration with Spirit, you know, we have to trust in Spirit, and Spirit comes to us in many different ways. Sometimes it's a whisper in our heart space, you know, dreams, signs, other people. Like, there's so many different messages and ways that Spirit communicates with us. But I feel like, you know, also this idea of like trusting your intuition as well, because Spirit also whispers to us through our intuition. And I feel like I personally can tell the difference between like my voice, the negative voices, and then Spirit. When Spirit is talking to me, when God is talking to me, when the universe is trying to communicate with me. So I feel like that's going to be really critical for you. I also feel like this idea of process is really interesting, and just understanding that there is a process to life, right? There are stages that we have to go through. And I love using the example of like planting a seed, because I feel like it's something we can all relate to. This idea that, you know, we till the soil, we fertilize the soil, we plant the seed, we water the seed. We weed the garden when it needs to be weeded. We water it interstitially as it needs that as well. And doing that, you know, our seed will sprout and it will grow. So this idea that there's a process to it, and some processes require action, and some of them require patience. Some of them require trust. Some of them require magic, which really to me is just belief in, you know, these things that are out of our control, the things that we cannot explain with a logical perspective, but we know to be true inside of ourselves. So these are the general messages that I had for you, group number 1. And now I will pull some soul truth cards for you. The idea behind this portion of our reading is for you to select one of the questions to meditate on, to ponder through, to journal through the next 7 days for the next week. So, am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Ooh. The feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Soul action for the week is to heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. Fill in the blank. My soul's truth is... I feel like for some of you, buried shame just like reminds me intensely of root work. So if you're feeling a little triggered by that, then there's a strong possibility that you might benefit from some root work. I do have root work videos on my channel. You know, if that might help you. Otherwise, you know, obviously there are other very capable people that do root work as well. So whatever vibe you're feeling, whatever direction you feel like you need to go, root work might actually be a really solid option to help you through working through some of that buried shame and even digging it up. I feel like, you know, I did some root work myself, and I was like, yo, I didn't even realize that this thing that happened when I was like 13 is affecting me now as a grown full-on adult. So I feel like root work is just as critical as shadow work and, you know, working on ourselves as far as like love and opening ourselves up more to love and stuff like that. So I feel like it's all useful and it's all helpful. So that was a side note there. And then our second question is, am I afraid to be seen? This question always so interesting to me. The world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. Time to shine your unique light on the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free. Your soul action for the day is, what parts of me do I hide so I can be socially accepted and fit in? Am I being authentic? Do I allow myself to be all of me? What do I need to feel so that I can be safe to be seen? Journal your answers. Okay. And then for our final question. This idea of being seen is just so interesting. Like, this question always has me like in my own heart space. Yeah. Triggered. Am I focused on what I want most? One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. That quote came from Tony Robbins. Your soul action for the week is what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, or this week, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values, or do I need to make adjustments? Prioritize. Am I focused on what I want most? Do you know what you want most? That was a side question. I feel like this idea of focus is also very interesting as well. I feel like we often focus on the wrong things and then wonder why we're not getting the outcome that we feel like we should be getting. So I feel like if you don't know exactly what you want to focus on, spending some time figuring that out is going to be very beneficial for you, is the message that I am receiving on your behalf. So group number 1, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to drop a comment and let me know what resonated. Also, let me know which question you decided to take with you on your life journey this week. Please also make sure to click like and subscribe to my channel, as well as liking my Facebook page and checking out my Etsy shop, where I curate content there to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thank you again, beautiful soul, for spending time with me today, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. We're gonna go ahead and give our unicorn or a cow a shuffle today. Let's see. What messages do our unicorns have for group number 2 today? Again, this little card just talking about it. So we have trust. So this is literally the same card that group number 1 pulled, but we pulled a whole bunch of other cards, so I doubt that your reading will be exactly the same. But the keyword for this card, it is so pretty. Gosh, this card is so lovely. The keyword here is trust. Leap into the unknown, have faith and move forward. Believe you will fly. So our Pegasus, in this case, has wings, yet stands on this cliff uncertain, unsure if it should take the leap. And I feel like the message here is like, you have wings, so trust in your wings, you know? That they're not going to fail you. Trusting in yourself. Leaping into the unknown. This idea of faith is also a very critical conversation here as well. We have our 6 of Cups. This idea of healing. So I am getting the message that some of you might be working through some emotional things in order to trust yourself again. And maybe you feel like you've made some poor choices in love, or just regarding your emotional happiness in general. And I feel like the message for you here is to trust yourself, you know, forgive yourself for any trespasses. As well as, you know, we have our Hierophant added to the conversation. So this idea of, you know, spirituality, this idea of knowledge, this idea also of, I feel like this idea with the Hierophant about tradition could also be a challenge for you, could be a sticking point or a difficulty when it comes to spirituality. So I'm getting the message that maybe you were, for example, raised in a, you know, like a household that is different than what your belief system is now. And I'm feeling, you know, maybe there's some healing that needs to be done to help you kind of work through some of the challenges that you might be going through in that particular situation. But whether that message resonates or not, I feel like this idea of spiritual healing, trusting yourself, there could have been, again, like some situation that happened. I'm getting the message here, potentially in the realm of love, where, you know, a decision that you made didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, or turned out to be some sort of difficult situation. And, you know, there's a necessity for healing, not only emotionally, but also spiritually as well. I feel like our Hierophant energy is also about attaining knowledge, you know, spiritual knowledge, yes, but knowledge in general. Our Hierophant energy also talks about like institutions. So I feel like this could be like obtaining knowledge through like school or college or something like that too, potentially, for some of you. Our Six of Wands energy is about that advancement. It's about that recognition. So I'm also getting the message here to trust in your gifts, trust in your talents, trust in your strengths, trust in the things that you have nurtured over the years, that you have mastered over the years. And I feel like that will not lead you astray. And in fact, it will bring you success. It will bring you advancement. It'll bring you recognition. I feel like the message here is also like, if there's an area that you know, skill or something that you're good at, but you want to get better at, I feel like there's an encouragement here to pursue that as well. You know, with our Six of Cups, with the Six of Cups and the Hierophant, I am actually getting a potential like romantic or love reading. Like there could be an offer of love. There could be, you know, an advancement in your relationship if you're already in a relationship. There could be marriage on the horizon. So that was a message that I got. And this idea of trust related to that is like, trust yourself to, you know, discern a partner for yourself. So for those of you who are single and potentially in a relationship as well, trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting what you see and how you feel, and understanding that those energies are just as real as, you know, our logic and our reason as well. So it's just a tool. And then we have Sage added to the conversation with the keyword of purify. Oh, I feel like this is really talking about releasing, and this idea of healing as well in the conversation with purify, and this idea of spirituality, this idea of trust. I'm getting this idea of like purging negativity, purging negative energy, purging things out of your life that don't belong in your life, that you don't want in your world. It's a really strong message that I'm getting for you. Group number 2. Okay, and then we have Black Kyanite added to the conversation today. Set strong boundaries. Boundaries, you know, some of us like light worker people are like us light worker souls. And yes, I'm including myself in this. You know, sometimes we feel like, oh, boundaries, that means that we're being mean to people. But really, boundaries, especially some strong boundaries, it's a really healthful way to navigate a relationship. When people know where they can go, where they cannot go, where they should go and where they should not go, it's just easier for them to navigate the relationship. And it also makes it very clear that, you know, you are also caring for yourselves. I feel like if we care for ourselves, other people will also care for ourselves, because we are kind of forcing them to. You know, we put up boundaries and we're like, nope, you can't do that. Yes, you can do that. Nope, you can't do that. You know, when we're putting up boundaries and we're standing firm in our boundaries, we're showing that person that we care about ourselves, and then that makes us care more about ourselves as well. Yeah, setting strong boundaries is a loving thing to do. So if you're kind of triggered by that, I'm getting the message that if some of you, you know, maybe your love relationship, you know, maybe there are some boundary violations, and this doesn't mean that the person is a bad person or anything, but I do feel like, you know, people kind of test their limits. You know, people will try you to see what they can and what they cannot get away with, and it's our job to, again, set that boundary. And I feel like the message here is also not to assume that somebody's like that all people's boundaries are the same. You might be like, oh, that's just the common courtesy, or that's just, no, like, be very clear on your boundaries, because they might be different for someone else. Someone else might define something differently than you. So it's just about setting expectations. So then we have bergamot being added to the conversation, which is all about expansion. So our keyword here is about expansion. The trigger statement is, I am not enough, but the true statement is, I love myself. Your tender heart is in need of care. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life. Embrace it. I love this idea of expansion. This is definitely heart chakra energy here for you. And I'm feeling like this idea of like opening your heart space, whether it is to a romantic relationship or whether it is just to allowing love and light into your life, into your heart space. This idea of loving yourself, this idea of opening yourself up to blessings, to magic, to healing, to love, to advancement, to spiritual fulfillment is so important. And I feel like also trusting, like taking the leap into, I feel like the unknown of yourself, like that message kind of just came, like taking a leap into the unknown of you and getting to know yourself better, getting to know, you know, it's difficult to set boundaries if we don't know what we want, you know, because we set boundaries based off of what we want and what we are willing to accept or not willing to accept. So if we know what we want, we can set a boundary. Be like, nope, that does not meet, you know, that is not, you know, if I want respect, right? And somebody crosses the line of whatever I'm defining as respect, boom, we set that strong boundary. No, you cannot pass that point. That is not acceptable. That is not how you treat me, you know, and then, you know, we move forward. But if we don't know that respect is something that we truly desire, that we really want, and we're not able to define what respect means to us, then it's difficult for us to set those boundaries. So I feel like part of loving ourselves and others is setting boundaries, getting clear on what we want, diving into who we are, knowing ourselves inside and out, purifying and releasing any limiting beliefs or things that are not serving us, negative energies that are not serving us, growing ourselves on multiple different levels in our knowledge, in our spirituality, making advancements in life and in our passions and creativities, and really just trusting in the process, trusting in life itself and the promises that our co-creator. Spirit, universe, God, whatever name you choose to give that divine energy. Trusting in our co-creator as well, trusting in the divine to guide us, to give us what we need, to give us our heart's desire. So these are the messages that I have channeled for you today, group number 2. We're going to go ahead and add some soul truth cards to our conversation. We're going to add 3 of them, at least that's the intent. Okay. The idea here for this section of our conversation, okay, this card did not want to go in, is for you to select one of these questions to take with you for the week, for you to meditate on, to contemplate, to really lean into this week. It's like soul homework, I like to call it. So the first one here is, what if it isn't true? The thing you are telling yourself right now, the concrete reason why you think you don't belong, you can't do it, you won't get there, you're not enough, or it's not for you. What if it wasn't true? Your soul action for the week is, it's time for a soul chat. Close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and ask the wise one within you, what if it isn't true? What else might be? Journaling your answers. What lie do I need to let go of to reach my soul's truth? What if it isn't true? I feel like we kind of lean into these mistruths, if you will, out of fear of failure, if we really truly lean into something, we really, really want something, and, it doesn't come true, or it doesn't come true, because it doesn't come to fruition the way we believe it should, then we're left disappointed, we're left feeling like a failure, we're left with all these kind of negative emotions. And I feel like the message here is, what if this fear of failure is a lie? What isn't it true? Then what could you get out of this? What beautiful energy could you be adding to your life, or whatever the thing is, what's the positivity that could come from this if this limiting belief is not true? So I feel like that's a really strong question, really good question for you to take through your week to ponder on. And then our second question is, am I getting enough rest to restore my energy and fully show up to my life? I always feel triggered when this card shows up, because in my past life, I am claiming that, my rest and restoration always came after everything else. So I'm definitely constantly working on this card, but it says, you are the asset. This body is your vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling, how much sleep you are getting, and what you can do to help your body rest. Your soul action for the week is to take a bath, put on some lavender essential oil, go to bed ridiculously early, or give yourself a time out today. Notice your body thanking you. The more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. And then our third and final question, am I ready to let go of this buried shame? The feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from a past experience that is ready to be healed? Your soul action for the week is to heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard, and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. My soul's truth is, and fill in that blank for that one. Yes, some really beautiful messages channeled for you today, group number 2. I certainly hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to drop a comment and let me know what resonated. Also, let me know which question you have decided to select for the week moving forward here. Please make sure to click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so YouTube lets you know when I upload new content. Also, make sure to check out my Facebook page. So like my Facebook page, check out my website, because I do upload 3 card readings multiple times a week to help you throughout the week as well. Also make sure as well to check out my Etsy shop, where I curate content there to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thank you so much, group number 2, for spending time with me today and sharing spiritual space. And I will see you in an upcoming video. Bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. We're going to go ahead and give our cards a shuffle today. See what messages our unicorn energy has for you. What messages for group number 3 today? What soul-filling, cup-filling messages do you have for group number 3 today? Messages for group number 3. Polarity. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. Yeah, I feel like it's like this idea of accepting yourself wholly and completely, and understanding that what makes you uniquely yourself is a combination of your light, your shadow, and all of the, shades of gray in between. That without your shadow, without all of the non-light elements of yourself, you would not be who you are. So I feel like it's important to acknowledge that. So we do have the Tower. Disruption. Conflict. Whenever I see the Tower card, I always feel like the Tower is like, it's optional in many cases. Not always, but I feel like in many cases. I feel like, when we are grounded spiritually, when we are in alignment with spirit, we can see, things when they aren't right. Like I feel like our intuition, our connection to spirit in the universe, I feel like we get warnings, we get hints, and we often just kind of ignore them. So I feel like the Tower energy is like reactionary. It is disruptive. It is conflict of energy in our lives. And so I do, it does signify change, like death. The Hanged One's energy, it does signify change. But I feel like, again, that Tower energy is that intense, like, just very disruptive, abrupt type of change. We also have the Hermit. And the King of Cups. So some really strong, powerful energy. I feel like the Hermit energy is encouraging us to do some soul searching. And I feel like also with our polarity, this idea of integrating the shadow side, that's going to take some soul searching work. It's going to take some contemplation. It's going to take some time away. I'm getting the message here with the Tower that for some of you, your soul, or your shadow self could have recently had an outburst in your life because you've been suppressing. So I'm getting the message here that, the Tower is something that could be in the future if you do not integrate your shadow self, if you do not accept this part of who you are. So I do feel like, in our King of Cups, this idea of emotional stability and integrity, I feel like is very, very key to kind of a lot of the energy of what we're working through with this idea of polarity. I feel like also emotional maturity. Sometimes I feel like we run from our shadow self because we just don't know how to address it. So we just avoid it. We just act like it's not there, as if it will disappear. It's like, nope, it's still going to be there, I also like the phrase that goes something, I think this is in the Wild Unknown Archetypes card. I think it is even for the shadow card in that deck. This idea that the closer you are to the light, the longer your shadow becomes. I just think that is so interesting. Like this idea sometimes that we try to run away from our shadow by running toward our light, you know, and embracing the light, but acting like the shadow doesn't exist. But understanding that the closer we try to get to the light, the more we try to deny the shadow, the more intense and the longer the shadow actually becomes, the bigger it is, the deeper it is. So I'm feeling like some going inside, some getting away, spending time in nature, doing some soul searching, being, you know, channeling emotionally mature energy in order to integrate that shadow side into your life. I do shadow work readings on my channel, so those might be helpful for you to check out if you so find that helpful. Our King of Cups energy could very well be, I'm getting the message like it could be represent a person, like a spiritual guide I'm getting, or somebody who's going to help you on this journey or help you on your journey. Water sign, strong water sign placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and a water sign. Our Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Doesn't necessarily have to, but I feel like this person is going to be very emotionally mature. Very grounded emotionally, very, they could be very creative. I'm getting, they could be connected to music or something of the sort, something similar to that. Some other creative endeavor, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But they are going to be very grounded, very, I'm getting a very like calm, peaceful energy from this person. If not a person, then this could very well be energy that Spirit is encouraging you to cultivate. This idea of emotional maturity, this idea of stability, especially in the world of your emotions, and this idea of integrity. Again, I feel like you're going to need emotional maturity in order to properly integrate your shadow side into your life. And then we have Ghost Pipe, this idea of mystery, which I feel like is very much solely connected to, you know, our shadow side. You know, it's this mysterious side. And I feel like the message behind Ghost Pipe is that some mysteries are meant to be solved and some mysteries are meant to be left as mysteries. And, you know, I feel like as far as this idea of integrating our shadow selves and our shadow energy, I feel like the message is there are some parts of your shadow self that are meant to be, you know, discovered, meant to be brought to the light, that are meant to be integrated. And then there are some sides of our shadow selves that are meant to stay in the shadows, that aren't necessarily meant to manifest in our lives, that they will not be positive contributors, you know, to our lives. So just kind of bearing that in mind as you go on this journey. Again, this idea of soul searching to me really means like you leaning into your intuition, you really connecting with spirit, connecting with your life intentions, what you desire to see in your life, and really leaning into that energy is the message that I'm getting for you today, group number 3. All right, and then we have Lepidolite, recall your dreams. Ooh. Dream conversations are always super interesting to me. I do some dream readings on my channel today. They're more or less about, you know, you pulling messages or connecting messages from your dreams and bringing them out of your subconscious into your conscious world, less about like interpreting, like me lording over your dream world. So I feel like dream space, and I am gonna actually pick a moon card as well, since we're talking about dreams. But I feel like dream space is almost like a private conversation between you and spirit, you and the universe. The universe, it often speaks through our dreams, because in the state of unconsciousness, we are open, because our conscious mind, that busy mind, what I would call the light side of things, is sleep, you know, it's deactivated. And so spirit messengers are able to come in and send messages to us through our dreams. So actually 2 cards came. I'm gonna go ahead and just add these. A win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. Nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon. Very interesting. So I feel like, I am getting the message here that this idea of nothing set in stone really just kind of making me connect kind of all the parts and pieces. Like this idea that you have yet to integrate your shadow side or decide not to do that, right? You have a decision to make here. And I feel like, again, that nothing is set in stone is that I feel like it's referring to this tower situation. I feel like that is dependent on whether or not you decide to integrate your shadow side. Whether or not you decide to, you know, do some soul searching with our Hermit energy, take an emotionally mature perspective as you work through these things. I feel like there's some decisions and some things that are uncertain right now that still need to happen in order for, again, a more fixed energy. So the mutable moon is, again, that changing, that flowing energy. It always reminds me of Pisces energy, because our Pisces is mutable water sign. But this idea that nothing is set in stone. And then in our full moon in Libra, to me, a win-win outcome is forecast. I feel like, you know, if you are feeling like, almost like feeling fear around, you know, integrating your shadow side or delving into your shadow side, looking that truth in the face. I feel like the message here is that a win-win outcome is forecast. You know, it's almost like a you can't lose type of energy. So I feel like the encouragement there is to like lean into it. Own it. Lean into it. Because you will win. You will win. And then we have a bergamot being added to the conversation here. This idea of expansion. I feel like that's really, you know, what's going to be required here. This idea of, you know, the truth statement in this is that, you know, I love myself. And I feel like in order to truly love all of yourself, to expand your heart space to your entire self, requires you to integrate your shadow side, integrate all parts and pieces of who you are. I feel like, yes, I feel like that's so very connected. So it says, your tender heart is in need of care now. Know that your body is here to help you experience a miraculous life and embrace it. All right, so those are the quote-unquote general messages that I had for you today, group number 3. So the second part of our reading today is going to be laying out some soul truth cards, and the idea here is that you are selecting one of these questions to move forward with you for the week. Messages for you to contemplate on, to think through, as you move through the next 5 to 7 days. So the first one is, whom am I placing blame on right now? A person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. And a person who blames no one has finished their lesson. Take responsibility on whom you are placing. Take responsibility on whom are you placing blame right now. Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if it doesn't feel ready, even if you do not feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be led. Second one, am I in my head or in my heart? What is the quality of your self-talk? Our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and limitations will take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. Your soul action for the week is to master your mind. Watch an inspiring video, do some taping, read an empowered book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and your dreams. And the third and final question, do I surround myself with people who lift me up? The people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Does your tribe fill you up? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you step into your greatest potential? Your soul action for the week is to make a desire list of the type of people with whom you wish to surround yourself and clarify if there is anyone in your life who no longer serves you. Can you love them from a distance? I feel like whenever I get this one, I'm like, this might trigger people, because sometimes this idea of like no longer serves you when you're talking about people is triggering in some ways. But I feel like the intent and spirit of this card and these types of conversations is to understand that we adapt to the people, the energies around us, because we are adaptive beings, you know? And I feel like, you know, if you're keeping people around you that are negative, then you're going to adapt to negative thoughts and energies. I feel like the message here is, again, we're not like throwing them out, you know, the door, but I feel like it's like limiting your exposure to their negativity, increasing. We could potentially replace that with, you know, increasing the time that you spend with people that do lift you up, which means that you will have less time to spend with people that are not lifting you up. So group number 3, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what resonated. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as liking my Facebook page and checking out my Etsy shop, where I curate content there to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thank you so much, beautiful soul, for spending time with me today. I certainly appreciate your energy, and I will see you in an upcoming video. Bye.